Live from the Daytona International Speedway, going left and right tonight. This is the Coast to Coast Racing Series. I am Jonathan Canfield. I am joined in the booth by Adam Kuhn. Adam, how you doing here tonight?
Doing well, Jonathan. Excited to cover a new league here on JCTV. Excited to be in the booth with you once again. And this should be a treat for us to see these next-gen cars, the seventh generation of stock car racing around this Daytona Road Course. Like you mentioned, the Coast to Coast Cup Series. They've already started their season, though, John. Fourth race on the season, so already in the swing of things, and we're excited to see the show they put on tonight.
Yes, indeed. A new crop of drivers for myself and Adam to learn about here. And really just a new field to learn about. We see drivers out there right now with about 3.5 minutes left in practice. They're going to get ready to be qualifying here soon. So a lot of these drivers trying to figure out how they're going to get around this road course. And Adam, as you know, with road course racing, it's a different element to stock car racing. It can be either a crash fest or it can spread out really easily too and kind of just be a one-horse race.
Oh, absolutely. And this track at Daytona National Speedway really lends itself to have either one. We really don't know what we're going to see in the bag tonight for these guys. The high banks could see it get spread out, or it could see them get strung together with the draft and effect, and it could be very difficult heading down that back straightaway and turning left into the bus stop because it probably comes up on these guys a lot sooner than they think if they're not used to racing sports cars around here in the wintertime like some people have on the iRacing service.
It's a difficult track to get around in general. I personally am not a big road course guy myself. I prefer to do it in the in a normal road course car, not really much a stock car. If you ask me to race a stock car on a road course, I'd probably laugh at you, but these guys are going to tackle it here tonight, and hopefully it all goes well.
Yeah, hopefully it goes well. Like we mentioned, final minutes of practice here, and very curious to see how this qualifying session is going to go. Just 5 minutes, and John, these lap times are almost 2 minutes, so that's really only going to put you at maybe one, maybe barely just two flyers, and that's just barely pushing. I only think they're going to get one good lap in.
Yeah, it's going to be close if they get the 2 laps in, but either way, the field seems fairly spread. A couple of drivers have put their name up at the top of the charts, though, within a second of each other, which is the top 4 from Borowski down to Wells.
Yeah, top four are separated, like you mentioned, within a tenth of it, well, excuse me, 1 second of each other. I think that's going to lend to see these four are probably going to contend for this pole position here in just a few moments and probably might be able to break away in the race because they have a full second on the next car, fifth place Shaki Tarpley, and it's going to be very curious because that next group of cars are not really grouped together either in the lap times. But once we get into the pack and into dirty air, it's going to completely change tonight. So it's going to be a handful for these guys to get around the speedway with all different cars around them instead of just these solo lap times, of course, like it is every week.
Well, Adam, so far we've got I'd say a surprising turnout. You don't see the side ticker get filled too much when we come to a road course for most of the series that we race in, or that JCTV covers even. But tonight, it looks like the Coast to Coast Cup Series has brought a strong set of drivers to the field, and looks like we're going to have about 21 cars starting here tonight.
Yeah, it's great to see that many participants on a road course. Like you mentioned, we don't really see that many because it's not these guys' forte. And doing some quick research before our stream tonight, John, looking at last week at Las Vegas, they had 39 participants, almost well, they were one spot short from filling the grid, so nearly a full grid last week at Las Vegas. Going to be half that tonight, probably about half that tonight, but still, like you mentioned, pretty good at healthy field size for a road course, and this is their first road course race on the season. Now we see the six-car Tristan Troll going around the track, excuse me, on his warm-up lap, I believe. This is the Western Horseshoe going back onto the main speedway here. This is a big climb back onto the high banks, turn 1 and 2 of the NASCAR track. Into the bus stop on the back straightaway now for Troll, and he's getting ready to go through Speedway 3 and 4 and set up for the front stretch chicane. Very difficult part of this track and very not favorable from a lot of people here, so very interesting to see where all the action is going to be tonight. If it's going to be in this corner, turns 13 and 14 on this course. Looking at the practice, the half-hour practice they had beforehand, there were a few incidents in this corner, and I expect that to carry over in the race tonight, especially on the start and restarts if we get any cautions. Especially the stage restart, lap 11, we're going to probably see that at.
And that's another thing to talk about with this league, Adam. Stage break at the conclusion of lap 10. And I mean, after that, we've got what appears to be an 18-lap shootout. But something we got brought up to us before the end of the race is going to be strategy. If everyone pits at the stage break, I don't think they have enough to make it to the end, is what we were told.
Yeah, we were told they were 2 laps short, and even with max saving, you're still going to be a lap short or so. Well, maybe I think what we were told is max save was still 2 laps short, so it's going to be difficult tonight as we see that 6-car Tristan Troll spin out and the Western Horseshoe exiting that corner there. He's going to pretty much botch maybe his only qualifying attempt there, Jonathan.
Yeah, that'll botch his qualifying attempt. Let's jump back to another driver that I see who might be on his first lap. Indeed he is. That would be the 3-car of... I'm looking for the name here. Brandon Fielder. He's on his first lap out here. Getting ready, going through that bus stop chicane on the back straightaway. One more chicane on the front. I guess you could call it the front straightaway of Daytona. And then he'll be coming to the line for his time. Just looking at the track map, we're going to have about 4 drivers under a blanket getting ready to complete a lap here, I believe. So the 3-car brings it across the line. And that'll be good for 4th fastest. 3 seconds off the lead to 23. That's going to be Nicholas Borski. He's going to go to the top of the board with a 153.689. And not far off of him was the 36 of Cody Rivera's. And Adam, you and I were talking about the point situation just before the show started, as these drivers are going to complete their 1 lap. Cody seems, the driver of the 36 car, seems like he's in the fight here, and he's not far out of it. But with qualifying wrapping up, we will go ahead and bring up your starting grid here on JCTV. So, on your pole, it is going to be that 23 of Borski to his outside. It's going to be Cody Rivera's. Row 2 is going to have the 71 of Rajcock and the 95 of Morrow. Row 3 is going to have the 13 of Webb and the 77 of Lorenzo. And row 4 is going to be Fielder and Bomar. Row 5 is going to be the 25 of Tarpley and the 6 of Troll, who we seen have a spin out on his first lap and only lap. And then next row back is going to be the 84 of Thurston and the 57 of Wells. The next row back is going to be 31 of Reeves and the 07 of Gallo. Then it's going to be Mahone, Swinski, and then next row back, Beckman, Lukin, then Culp, Fowler. And then rounding out your field here tonight is going to be the 32 of Britton. So that is your starting grid here on JCTV as these drivers get ready to grid up and go to battle here on this road course. So, Adam, we're getting ready to start here. This is, like we mentioned, a new crop of drivers for us here at JCTV. We don't have picks to win, but what do you feel your expectations are with us starting on a road course here with this league? I believe Adam might have stepped away for a break for a second, so I'll tell y'all my expectations. My expectations are it's road course racing. I expect to see one, maybe the first 4 spots are guys that are what you would call road course ringers, and it's gonna be interesting to see which one of them comes out on top. But right now, lights are out on that pace car. We are getting ready to go green. Folks, I'm not sure what happened to Adam, but I'm not seeing him in my call anymore. Maybe some issues with his internet or something along those lines. But we hope to hear from Adam very soon. But for right now, pace car is going to pull off. The field is going to be getting ready to go green.
Green, green, green.
And the green flag is out. And oh, right there on the start, we already have contact. Not sure who that was. But that was pretty big right there for the start of this race. Maybe that was the 95 of Gino Morrow. Just got kind of driven in the back up there and stacked up on that restart. And looks like no damage to the car, but that'll certainly drop him back. But up front right now, the 23 still in control. He's getting away right now. Followed by Cody Rivera's in that 36. Nicholas Borski trying to show that he's got the pace to outrun this 36 early on here. But remember, folks, lap 10, the end of lap 10, we are going to have a stage break. So with that stage break coming, oh, and Borski's going to spin it right there coming out of that corner. He'll lose the lead and hand it over to Rivera's. Rivera's assumes the lead now. So with that spin, Borski drops all the way to the 9th position and almost outside the top 10. Going through the bus stop chicane on the back straightaway, they will enter turns 3 and 4 of the oval. They enter the front stretch bus stop here just to complete this first lap, as we've already had some chaos on this first lap. Jump back here. Take a look at this 77 of Brian Lorenzo. Currently running in the 7th position. Up back here. See the 23 just behind him. In the 8th position, already made up 1 spot after that spin on the first lap. This is the 6th car, Tristan Troll. Back here in the 9th position. And holding on to your final stage point right now is the 07 of West Gallo. Back up front, Cody Rivera continues to lead over the 84 of James Thurston. But from there, there's a gap back to the 57 of Ellis Wells. So Ellis Wells runs in the 3rd spot, but he's under pressure from that 25 of Chalky Tarpley, as Chalky Tarpley misses the bus stop there, and a little bit of damage to that left front. So that'll drop Tarpley back to the 8th position, and really that's a soft blow for the damage that that driver just incurred. Okay, Ollie Reeves in the 6th position here. Just got passed by the 23 of Borski. As Borski's going to make the move on the 71 of Rajkok now. And the 57 of Wells. So Borski is now up in the 3rd spot after spinning on the first lap. Trying to recover from that crucial mistake. So far, so good, but still has 5 seconds up to your leaders, as your leaders appear to be battling right now. Indeed they are. Thurston has caught Rivera's and gone around to take the lead spot right now. So there you see behind them that Borski is gaining time on them. Take the onboard in the cockpit with Rivera's. Get to ride on board with Rivera's there as he tries to chase down Thurston for this lead. Last time by, though, that 23 car, Borski, was the fastest car on track. But also last lap, James Thurston ran his best lap of the race. Not the fastest on the track, but he was running his fastest lap of the race. As he's still getting pressure from Cody Rivera's. Oh, and Cody Rivera spins it out. He'll get it turned back around and keep going. We'll see if we can go back with a JCTV replay here and see what happened to Rivera's. Just coming out of the bus stop, and oh man, heavy contact for that driver of the 36. Oh, pull that up one more time just so we can pull the overlay down. Right here, you'll see him come into the bus stop. And just right there, gets some curb, car gets sideways. And that was enough to get that 36 around. Back live here, though. The 36 continues to run in the 5th position now, but it's all the 84 of James Thurston as we are on lap 5. 7.6 second lead over the 23 of Nicholas Borski. So, as these drivers continue to run, we're going to take you on a quick side-by-side break. Don't go anywhere, though. You'll see it all in non-stop here on JCTV. We will be right back.
Drivers ready!
Hey, wait, whoa. What are we racing for anyway?
For fun? How about let's race for a Coke? Go! Out the road, buddy. Harvick, come on.
Got some horsepower, Bobby. Come on, DJ, get out of the way.
Going down, Walter. Sorry, Kyle. No problem. I just wrecked in turn 5. Last lap.
Nice race, guys. Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, we need you in the pits.
Pit road is open. Eric. Well, Nate, they're trying to make the most of a frustrating day. There you go. Chris. There you go. We can just quit now. Enough of that garbage. Absolutely terrible. Hey, let's go. As it is, we can lose. I'm going to try to get you going just a little bit. You do your job, I'll do mine, okay? Shake it off there, pull your belt tight. Go, 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 go. Tony? How you feeling, bud? I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke. I'd like to teach the world to sing.
Probably know me from going fast, but when I want to go even faster, I reach for Carvana. With their soonest next day delivery, they get me moving fast, so I can stay on schedule. Oh, my drop-off's ready.
How'd they get here? How should I know? T-Rex and Truex? I don't think so. I may not know how to travel back in time, but my crew knows what to do. When I wanna fly, crank around the wedge in the left rear. You're only turning 9,000, need another gear. Now we know how. Now we know how.
As a Formula One world champion, I strive to win everything.
And as a 3-time NASCAR champ, I never give up.
I should warn you, I am a triathlete.
Let's do this. Mobil One's advanced technology gives our engines the speed they need to win.
Right.
Works on my bike legs, too. Jensen, 4 letters, 3-time NASCAR champ. That oil made my legs real fast. Somebody get this guy a hanky?
At Domino's, you can carry out 3 topping pizzas for just $7.99 each. And with Domino's Carside Delivery, you can conveniently stay in your car while you do it. Just pull up, check in online, and we'll quickly bring your food to you.
Thank you.
So you don't have to get out to get carry out. Like Denny here.
Hey, Hamlin. I like your PJs.
PJs?
Stay in the driver's seat with Domino's Carside Delivery.
We welcome you back to the Daytona International Speedway, where you see the battle on your screen heating up for second between the 23 Nicholas Bowarski and the 57 of Ellis Wells. Apologize for that. But yeah, you see the battle on your screen, and it's heating up between these two. And I welcome back my broadcast partner who had a little bit of issues. Adam, welcome back.
Yeah, good to be back. Big time lag out there. Big disconnects from everything on my end, but back in the booth, and this battle between these two you mentioned, Matthew Borowski trying to gap this 57 now. We saw that issue on the opening lap, and recovering up to that second position now. Going to try and make the most of it from this point on with that stage. With the stage ending up here soon, and he's going to be able to be in prime spot for good recovery with stage points in that terms.
Yeah, he did a good job managing it, but while you were gone, Adam, we also watched the 36 of Cody Rivera's running in the second spot have an accident out of the bus stop on the back straightaway. Just caught a little bit of curb and around she went, but he's now recovered to a 4th place position. So a lot of drivers just trying to recover here from early incidents, and so far doing well. But up front, it's all the 84 of James Thurston. As when he crosses the line, it'll be one to go in the stage. So we'll keep the camera on this battle for second, as the battle for the 3rd place position is also heating up between the 31 and the 36, but this is the closest battle on track for the stage points.
Ellis Wells got to the inside of Nicholas Borowski. Excuse me, I misspoke last time calling him his name, excuse me. But he has fallen to 3rd now because Ellis Wells got to his inside in the International Horseshoe. Now here they're going back in the western end. Borowski on the outside, can't do anything there.
Yeah, and it looks like Ellis Wells is looking like he just wants to get away from this 23. He certainly has the speed and just needs to put together a good couple of corners as he's sideways there, and that'll cost him.
Yeah, Jonathan, I would say other than the chicanes on this track, that is the hardest corner on the speedway and on this 3.5-mile road course. Transition from the infield to the over is so violent, and he spun out before he even got to that point. It's just, that corner goes on forever. You just don't know where to turn in the apex the right way, and if you're in a big battle like this and your tires are warmed up and you want to hit the hammer down and put the power down, they just slide away from you there, and I think that's what happened to the 57.
We'll jump back and look back here. I see a battle between the 71 and the 3. The 71 of Jason Rajcock and the 3 of Brandon Fielder. They've been close together for a couple laps here. And they're towards the back of these top 10 trying to get these stage points, as many as they can get. Right now, the 07 of Wes Gallo, he has a gap, and he's looking like he's going to take home this final stage position. But these two look like they're going to battle it out for their position, for the 8th and 9th position. As we are on the final lap of this stage. And it appears that the 84, barring any sort of mistake, is going to take the stage win. And from here, he could practically coast it and just have a cruising lap. He does not need to push at all. 6.5 second lead. Just dominance here in this opening stage of this race.
And everyone else inside this top 5 has had pretty much some kind of incident to start off this race in just the opening 10 laps. And pretty, like you mentioned, pretty solid opening stage, pretty dominant. And he's just been playing with the gap the last couple of laps. It was up to 9 seconds, was down to 5 when Nicholas and Ellis were battling. Now it's up to 6.5 now.
He's getting ready to come to the start-finish line. So he's going to take your stage win. We'll keep an eye on where Wes Gallo is, because that's when the caution's going to come out. But the 84, James Thurston, is your stage 1 winner here. Or your stage winner, I mean, for this opening stage. He's going to be followed by the 23, Nicholas Borski. Then Ellis Wells. Oh, as the 23 actually spins out there at the end of the stage. We'll look back and see where this 07 car is. He's going to come through. Wes Gallo's going to get the final stage point. And he'll be the one to finish up this stage. Caution should be coming out.
The yellow flag is out.
And there's our stage caution. So, Adam, we had a little bit of everything right there. But, we'll let the field get bunched up. But while they're bunching up, do you want to see if you could possibly get a hold of our stage winner?
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't see him in a voice channel that we can get him down here from. So I don't think we can talk to our stage winner, but we could grab another interview if you would like, Jonathan.
Well, we could call him the comeback story, and he did finish second in that that stage there. They should be allowing him to keep his position because he spun out after the line. But what do you say we talk to Nicholas Borski and see how he's feeling?
All right, let's do it. Hey Nicholas, little communication over the team radio. You got a copy. It's the boys in the JCTV booth.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. You had an interesting opening stage there. Recovered up to that second position after an early spin and then a spin after the caution. So what was that like out on the racetrack?
Man, I was so scared. Like, I just did it again. I think the pressure, because I'm usually not up in the front of the field, and I think the pressure is getting to me. And I know I am competitive, but I think the pressure is getting to me in some places.
Well, we hope you can keep it calm here for this last 18-lap stage, and you have pretty good lap times when you aren't making those little mistakes. What is the field like being so strung out like this on this racetrack?
It definitely makes things a little bit easier with a lot of more clean air. So once you're in front of everyone, it's definitely a heck of a lot easier to get lap time. And then it really shows who knows the track and who knows what they're doing.
Absolutely. So what do you need to catch James there here in this last stage and have a battle between you, Ellis, and him for this win?
Well, I think now that we're all together and we got the stage coming up here, I think a lot of people are going to be pitting for tires. I don't think you might need tires, but if ever, I think everyone else is going to take them, so you might as well. And now that everyone's stacked up, it's going to be a lot closer racing. And at that point, it's just you can't make a mistake. If you make a mistake, it's over.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck here in this last stage of sprint to the finish here, and hopefully we get to talk to you a little bit later at the end of this race. So good luck, Nicholas.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right,
That was the driver of the 23, yeah, Nicholas Borowski. And Jonathan, you mentioned his spin on that cool down lap, and then he mentioned his spin when we were talking to him on the next time by. He is still being lined up in that 5th position after being caught up to the field.
Yeah, and that could be an admin discretion thing, but I believe they'll still award him the second place finishing points for the stage there. He's probably just following what iRacing's telling him to do, and that's probably what the admins want him to do, just so they don't have to clear a bunch of black flags or anything silly, because as he talked about, everyone's probably going to come down pit road here and take some tires, and definitely gonna put some fuel in the tank. So yeah, I fully expect to see everyone coming down, taking a pit stop here, and I don't think it's gonna hurt him too much being lined up a couple cars back when he spins out under caution. But pit road should be open this time. Indeed it is, and the 84 is gonna bring down a whole line of cars with him. You see them all filing onto the pit lane here. Looks like nobody's going to stay out. Everybody's going to come down and get some fuel. And probably some tires. We'll see if anybody decides to elect fuel only here. See some jacks going up. Some jacks maybe not. Does look like
some definitely taking 2 tires.
Some of them definitely. Looks like the 84 is going to win it off pit road once they sort it out. We'll see who's running in what position. But the 84 is definitely going to win the race off pit road. Looks like the 90 of Sam Brochu is going to be your second place. And then the 31 of Ollie Reeves is going to be your third place driver.
And behind him, Cody Rivera's is going to stay in that 4th position. And he has had a pretty eventful race so far. It is going to be Ellis Wells, who has fallen. He was running second there under that caution, running second majority of that stage, finished 3rd in the stage. So he is down to 5th. He's going to really need to take advantage of this restart here and make a couple rows here on the launch. And looking back to Nicholas Borowski, he is falling to the 9th position after those pit stops. A little bit of a longer pit stop for that 23.
Yeah, and that definitely looks like he might have had some issues on that pit stop. But he took a 13.9 second pit stop, so maybe just a victim of the strategy. I see a lot of people shaking up here. We got the 77, Lorenzo, he's up in the 7th. Morrow's up in the 6th position, and then Reeves and Brochu, who we already talked about, up in that 2nd and 3rd position. And with where Borowski came into the pit lane at in that 5th spot, I can believe that he lines up in 9th now, with those drivers taking that gamble of possibly taking 2 tires. But the question's going to be for some of these guys, I'm noticing Brochu, he took a 7.6 second stop. Does that driver have enough to go the distance, or is he putting enough in to split this second half of the race, knowing that they're not going to have enough, and possibly playing a position strategy here?
Yeah, no surprise here. We see a lot of guys going on the flat in the corners instead of using the banking and just shutting off the engines. No one's got their motor running. They're just trying to save as much fuel as possible here.
Well, we are going to step away one more time while the field is under caution and pacing around here. Caution laps take a while, so we're going to take one more quick side-by-side break, and we will be right back here for the last half of the race here on JCTV. Don't go anywhere. You'll see everything happen here in nonstop.
50 laps to go as Casey Kane is broke down. Wow, that was fast.
Boy, I want to see that again in slow motion, Doug.
Okay, that was something I did not see the first time, Pete.
Boy, you catch a lot more detail when you slow things down.
I guess so.
Those look good.
Yeah. Oh, Casey's always got time for arm wrestling.
Amazing.
Yes, she is, Pete.
Boy, you blink an eye and you miss all that.
Impressive. Casey Kane's always impressive.
This is Clint Boyer, showing the clarity and alertness we call focus. This is Clint Boyer showing practically no focus. Notice the difference? With focus, without focus.
Clint! Huh?
With focus, without focus.
Focus is better.
Focus is better. That's why Clint takes 5-hour energy. Because with focus,
anything is possible.
Kyle Busch, welcome to Menards. What can I help you with today?
Well, I've got my shopping list right here. I need some green treated lumber. I need a brown Mastercraft door. I need red Clearview cabinets and some blue Dutch Boy paint.
Those are M&Ms.
And?
At Menards, we carry the world's best selection of home improvement products to help you complete your next project.
You've got more of these, right?
It's all gonna fit in your car?
I got a trunk.
Save big money at Menards.
So how's that new Mahindra tractor, Tony?
To be honest, Chase, there's nothing more satisfying than working my land with this Mahindra. Well, nothing outside of being Rookie of the Year, winning 62 races, 3 Cup Series championships, securing dozens of sponsorship deals, getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, getting married to a wonderful woman, owning a racing team, hanging out in my trophy room, you know, awesome stuff.
Yeah, what? Can't hear you.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stewart Haas Racing.
We welcome you back as the field comes down for the back straightaway chicane. We get ready to go for a restart here. Get ready to start the second half of this race. Be 14 to go when we take the green. 15 laps to go right now. And Adam, we noticed while we were on the side-by-side break there that a couple drivers came down to top off there just before we get ready to run this last little bit.
Yeah, I saw 3 drivers, Luke Mahone, William Britton, and Brendan Fowler all came down just for a quick splash of gas, and I think it's just to get extra fuel here, of course, and try and push that fuel window to the end, and maybe they're not trying to split it, or maybe they are splitting it and just maybe doing a gas and go at the end and trying to make the show to stop possible at the end. Coming to the restart here, Jonathan, skipping the chicane. So the pace car is going to go through it, and the leader is going to go in the zone.
Yeah, and the pace car is going to be pulling down to the safety of pit road here. We are getting ready to go green. Green is out. The 84 gets a good start. Much cleaner start than our initial start. And we are back at it here. See somebody back here making moves. The 23. Looks like he got in the braking zone really deep right there. He's trying to make some moves to get back towards the front. And Adam, I believe you spotted something else.
Yes, Sam Brochu was super sideways, and turns 1 and 2, and we have another spin towards the back, almost a spin, exiting turn 3. It was Wes Gallo, I believe, in the 07. He has lost tons of track position here, and another near lockup going into the International Horseshoe. I believe that was the 77 of Brian Lorenzo.
77 trying to get up there. Oh, I see the 23.
Ooh, another slide. It's 23 again.
Almost the same corner that got him on the first go around when we started this race. It almost struck him again. So Borski having a lot of issues right now trying to get back through this field. But up front, still the same. James Thurston still leading this race. But look who's put themselves back in second place, who was battling with Thurston earlier. This 36, Cody Rivera's. He's made his way back up to second, and now only 1.2 seconds separates him and Thurston.
Jason Rashcott got into the grass, exiting the back straightaway chicane and going into the front stretch chicane. They are gagged up behind him. 2 cars got ahead of him, and 4 are stacked up. 1's in the wall just behind.
Yeah, and I see Wes Gallo trying to make a move.
Yeah, Wes Gallo's trying to make a move on the 28 of Brad Sawinski, who caught that wall off the final and 14th corner there. And Wes Gallo's going to lock up just a little bit entering turn 1.
See the field already starting to spread out a little bit, but you see Wes Gallo, he's trying everything he can to get around this 28. He's peeking to the outside of the corner as we have somebody off in the grass. It's going to be the 64, I believe. I believe it said 64.
We have a couple.
On the doors.
4 is also off.
4 car. Oh, Brendan Fowler, he was off track. I believe that was the 32.
One of those who topped off.
Yeah, the 32 on the doors, 32 in the sim, 64 on the doors. William Britton, one of the guys that came and topped off, he was out in the grass.
Yeah, just looking back at the replay, John, they were just separate incidents just going on at the same time in the same corner.
Thurston still continues to lead. 1.3 seconds is the gap over Rivera's. And then about another...
Yeah, battle for third. Side by side going into the front straightaway.
Yeah, I was going to say about a second and a half back is the battle for third. Oh, a little bit of a door there. Wells just fed a door to the 90 of Brochu. And I think that's going to bring Reeves up into this. It's going to allow Reeves and Morrow to close up on the 90 of Brochu.
Yeah, Ollie Reeves has looked really solid on the long run, minimizing mistakes, and that's what we heard Nicholas Borowski talk about. Just you have to minimize mistakes here in this last stage for it to matter, and we see these guys just diving into these corners, and he made a mistake right there, and he's going to allow Gino Morao to make that move. As soon as I was talking about him, John, another commentator's curse here, but he's going to slip back a position, and Gino's going to move up a spot, obviously, into this top 5 here and try and threaten Sam Brochu, who has been slipping all race since his restart with his strategy call.
And Adam, I see a familiar car up here. Just talking to him, this kid is fast, and you can tell his confidence has to be through the roof. You just wish he could minimize the little mistakes he's had here tonight. We've seen him almost spin out in the same corner twice. He did spin once in that corner. We've just seen him make the little mistakes, but he's fast. This 23 of Borowski already back up to the 7th position and really closing on the guys in front of him. back up front. Thurston still continues to lead, but the gap is getting right about where it was, but it's down to 1.2, almost 1.1 seconds now, as the 36 continues to try to chase down this 84. And remember, that little bit of nose damage on that 36, that's from that incident he had earlier, just jumping the curb on the bus stop.
And Cody looks really strong right now. We really obviously haven't seen anyone challenge James tonight. As soon as he I'm going to keep my mouth shut, I guess. He overshot 2-1 just a little bit there. He kept it on the track, but a little bit exceeding those white lines.
Yeah, Adam, I guess we can't compliment anybody here tonight. We try to give them out some compliments and let them know, like, how good of a job they're doing, and then they just make the littlest mistake every time we're trying to talk about them. Ooh, and I see the 84. He just went really wide into that entry of the corner. I'm not sure if that was intended or not, but he went really wide into that corner. Looks like he's pushing really hard right now. I'm sensing that he knows how fast Rivera's is, and he's trying to push his car a little bit here.
I'm looking at the battle for 6th right now, Jonathan. Nicholas Borowski has gotten around Ali Reeves, but Ali is still right there, hanging on the back bumper pretty much of Borowski. Going through that back straight or chicane is going to gap him just a little bit. And these two, these two that I was talking about making little mistakes, but still hanging right here. This main pack still within 10 seconds of the leaders.
Yeah. And
another bobbler there off turn 14 for the 31 though.
Yeah, Borowski wins that battle for now, but as we know, mistakes can cost you when you're at a road course like this.
Oh, we have a spin. 77, I believe, of Lorenzo spun out, exiting turn 4.
And that's going to drop Lorenzo to the 10th spot here. Oh, and right ahead of him, Rashcock grabbing a little bit of grass.
He wasn't the only one. Fielder just ahead of him did the same thing through that corner, through the kink.
So we talk about this being a difficult road course, but with 10 laps to go, it seems like some of these drivers are pushing a little bit. And I'm noticing something else. Our battle for the lead has quickly gone from a battle for the lead to about the battle for second almost. Now, Ellis Wells is closed up to the 36 because the 36 has fallen way back. Thurston has opened up almost a 3-second lead now. And just a couple laps ago, that lead was down to about a second. So we are now at 9 laps to go. And still all Thurston out front. Rivera's continues to be in second, but by the smallest margin. And Rivera's is struggling. Something is amiss on his car right now because he's just struggling to get around this road course. Wells is going to take a little peek, but not have the run there.
Very possible he just abused his tire, John, just trying to keep up with the 84. And now he's paying the price for on the back end of this run. Hopefully the back end of this run for those tires. And he, he's going to slide it there and almost miss that corner. The International Horseshoe, the wedge throw, which I mean, yeah. Ellis is going to look there to the outside now of this next corner. Going to tuck in line with the 36 blocking.
You know, Adam, I'm noticing with the damage the 36 has, his left front looks a little cantered in. That could be affecting his braking and the handling of the car as well. Especially as you're talking about tire wear. He could have abused those tires, but with the damage in abusing those tires, that could be making it 10 times worse.
Oh, absolutely. And when it comes to the handling, yeah, it could affect the handling, but I think he'd be used to it by now. Other than the tire degradation you're talking about, just wearing it so much worse with the front end just crumpled back like that, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about the handling, but the more he runs this tire set in, and we looking at his pit time, he took a full pit stop last time. I'm not sure if he took tires or not, but you would think he'd have to. He wouldn't just sit there and fill up on fuel the whole time. And it could just be with that tire being cantered, it's getting less of a contact patch onto the track, and that could be all it takes to really, when you burn the tires off like he could have, affect his handling the way it is. Right there, you see him again, just a little bit loose, getting back to the gas. That's just opening the door for Wells to stay right here on his back bumper. Oh, you see Wells right there getting loose out of that corner. Jump in on the roll bar with Ellis Wells here and listen to the sounds of what's going on in that race car.
Oh, spin just behind him. The 90 spins out in the final corner. Sam Brochu gets it back going and righted, but he's going to fall to the 8th position at least here. 90 going to cross the line here, Josh. We are about 8 laps to go here, or 7 to go now. Just past that threshold of halfway in the stage, and none of the leaders came down to pit halfway in the stage as Brochu's going to get back to the inside. Valley Reeves there, who missed the apex of turn 1.
And I believe we have another spin. That might be Wells. I seen smoke up ahead. Maybe it was just a lockup.
Yeah, I saw the smoke. It's just a lockup, though, I think.
Oh, that looked like another spin with how much smoke was kicked up. Maybe it was the 95 and the 23 who are just ahead of them, pushing each other too hard. One of them locking up. Borski pushing hard to get to the inside there. There's going to be contact. They keep it straight. They're going to be side by side out here on the banked oval. Coming to that back straightaway chicane. Somebody's going to have to give here, Adam.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be Gino because Nicholas is going to be in the preferred lane here going into this bus stop. And it's just going to be diving onto the curbs. And he's going to have the first say onto those, and exactly that's what happens. Gino backed out, so he could attack those curbs the same way, but losing 2 or 3 car lengths now to that 23, back onto the speedway.
Well, we know how fast this 23 is. Move him up another spot to 4th. He talked about it when we interviewed him, how important this clean air is. Well, he's going to get some clean air now, but he's got to make up a ton of time to be able to get to the front 3. 12 seconds back of the lead right now. and about 10 seconds back from third place.
And speaking of for the lead, James Thurston lost half a second there to Cody Rivera's, and Ellis Wells is still right there on the back bumper of the 36 for that second position. I don't know if it's Thurston trying to save fuel and make it to the end, or save fuel to push it to as little as short as a pit stop as possible.
We will have to see how this plays out. This is really making this road course race an interesting race for us, Adam, because you don't see fuel strategy too much on a road course race.
No, not too much, especially with stages factored in. Usually that pretty much writes the script there, but it is going to be close down to it. And we mentioned that at the top of the show just a little bit, these guys were asked earlier this week to prevent this scenario. Did they want the stage changed, knowing the fuel window put in place tonight? And no one voted to change it. Well, not enough people voted to change it. Majority people said keep it as it is. So we are going to see how this plays out here in the final laps as this race winds down.
Well, right now I'm watching, and it looks like Rivera's has gotten new life as he's now within a second and a half of Thurston. Not sure if Cody Rivera's has anything to throw at the sink to try and get to Thurston, but it looks like he's trying everything he can just to keep the car on the track and push it as hard as he can. As we get 5 to go here.
Yeah, and looking at lap times real quick, Jonathan, that lap where he lost all that time to those guys really wasn't that bad either. That was one of his better laps for the 84 of James Thurston, and he's running 1 minute 54-second laps right now, and that was pretty much about what they ran in practice, just a second, 10th off. So he's not slowing down too much to conserve fuel.
Well, the gap's within a second now, and Cody Rivera's can see how close he is to the 84. You gotta wonder if Cody Rivera's is holding anything back here, if he's got the green light to go. We've seen him drop back to almost a 3-second gap, and now he's closed back up. I gotta wonder, Adam, was it Thurston pulling away, or was it Rivera's playing strategy and pulling back? Because now that he's away from the 57, it looks like this 36 has some speed.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic for sure, especially with the damage factored in that we were talking about a couple laps ago. 36 has been so fast all race. Mentioned beginning of the stage, he was keeping up with the 84 so well, and no one had done it in that opening segment. And here he is again, matching pace with this 84, a little bit better lap times the last couple of laps. And he fell off dramatically there in the middle part, and no pit stop yet. So he's doing a good job trying to conserve the tire. We both thought he had already eaten up all the tire. Maybe he has, and the 84 has just done a worse job. As there's a huge slide there in turn 14 from Thurston.
Yeah, big slide, and it looks like Thurston's going to lose the lead on that one. He can't get the power back down. Put the 36 in the lead here with 4 laps to go. Battle is on your screen for the lead. Currently no closer battle on track for position. The 90 and the 95 are in close proximity, but not close enough to battle. But the battle for the lead intensifies now. The 57 gets around Thurston. Thurston back to third after leading pretty much this entire race. Now with 4 laps to go, Thurston sees himself in third place, 1.4 seconds back of the lead. And the question is still out there, Adam. Who needs to pit? Do they all need to pit? And when do they pit?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And another thing to play in here, they have a lap code just ahead. It's going to be the 13 of Drew Webb. He is on the back straightaway now as these guys go through turn 1 and 2 of the NASCAR Speedway.
Yeah, they have that lap car to negotiate, but it looks like they're probably going to catch him in a decent spot. At least that's what they can hope. You don't want to catch him in one of these chicanes or any of these tight corners where he could be in the way. Especially with Ellis Wells. He's right there. Ellis Wells is not going away from this 36. They've been on each other all race, and now they're both running 1 and 2, and Ellis Wells is turning up the heat. You see him get deep into that chicane there.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. This is just going to be a brawl to the finish pretty much between these two. Diving into turn 1 is... Oh, man, I thought he was going to lose the rear end of it, though. Ellis Wells is still barely hanging on to that car through turns 3 and 4 now into the International Horseshoe here. Diving it in again on the bottom lane. Stepping the rear out just a little bit. Trying to catch the 36 because Cody Rivera's loses the rear end on exit.
Heated battle here between these two. They're going to go at it, but again, we don't know if they need to pit or not. It's really anybody's race. Did Thurston let him go so he could save? Because now he's 3 seconds back. Who's going to make it to the end here and who has to pit? We are going to find out as they come back out here onto Oval 1 and 2. Lap car, 13 of Webb still up in front. And not too far ahead of Webb is the 4 car Fowler as well. So 2 lap cars could play a factor here in the final 3 laps. And Adam, we're closing on that pit window that you were talking about. The 13's going to stay to the bottom here and stay out of the way.
Yeah, 2 laps to go is the number we were told these guys were going to run out. Obviously, we don't know how true it is, but that's what we were briefed before the broadcast. And we've seen some of these guys run different lap times, like you mentioned that 84, but 36 is not going to pit. Cody Rivera is going to stay on the racetrack to take 2 to go.
And Ellis Wells had a big slide there through that front stretch chicane, and he lost a ton of time. Now 1.4 seconds back is the 57. So for the 36, he just needs to put together some solid laps and not run out of fuel, and he could possibly walk out with this one. But look at Thurston. Thurston's pushing his way back up here. He's closed that gap back down to 2.5 seconds. About to have a battle for second as Thurston and Wells both get deep into that corner. Thurston's going to be all over the back bumper of this 57 soon if he has anything to say about it.
Yeah, I think the 57 is just skating a little bit more into the corners than the 84 is right now, and I was doing a good job trying to fend him off, but it was going to be a tall task considering how well that 84 has been all race.
Get ready to get to the white flag here shortly. Rivera is still up front, ahead by 2 seconds. We're showing you the battle for second on your screen right now between Ellis Wells and Thurston. Can Thurston get back to the back bumper of this 57? Can the 57 close the gap to Rivera's? Cody Rivera's comes through this front stretch chicane, and he'll see the white flag. Do they have enough to make it back around? Will Rivera's take the win? Is Wells going to walk into a win? Does Thurston have enough to make it to the end as he's fallen back now?
Oh, Ellis spins almost. He slid big time into turn 1 through the center of it. Going to lose that second position to Thurston.
He's going to lose the second position, but you know he's not going to give up. He's going to be pushing to get it back. We'll see if who pushes harder, and again, Adam, if they can make it.
Well, no one pitted, so I would think everyone can pit. I mean, can make it at this point. I would think someone would have gambled and pitted and hoped everyone else would have ran out. But here we are. If everyone runs out, I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm pretty sure, looking at it, we're pretty confident here everyone can make it from this point. And how about Cody Ramirez doing a great job to get to the lead? He's going to try and hope to coast from this point, but Thurston's going to be looking on him on this backstretch.
And how about the story it is? I mean, you spin it out right here in this bus stop that he came to earlier and drops back almost outside like the top 5, I believe it was. And now, coming around oval 3 and 4, he can all but taste the win at this point. All he's got to do is put one good chicane together, and this 36 is going to park it in victory lane. Coming off of oval turn 4 into the front stretch chicane one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, give this driver your appreciation for the show he put on here tonight. The 36 of Cody Ramirez is going to park it in victory lane in the Daytona Road Course for the Coast to Coast Cup Series. Thurston's going to bring it home second. Third's going to go to Wells. The 23 of Borwarski, it was a valiant effort. He's going to bring it home in the 4th position. 5th is going to go to Brochu. The 95 of Morrow is going to take home 6th. The 31 of Reeves is going to bring it home in that 8th position. And I believe I see a battle.
Oh, it's been going on all lap. I've been watching it. The 3 and the 77 got together beginning of the lap. They're going to end it together.
So that's going to put the 77 in 8th.
No, it's going to be Shockey Tarpley. Oh, that's a lap car. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Shockey's a lap car, making things interesting. The 3 is going to bring it home in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be that 71 of Jason Rajcock.
Yeah, Shockey was racing very aggressive, and we have post-race festivities here. I have seen that coming. I saw the initial contact. They were coming back onto the speedway in oval turn 1, and they made contact. The 3 got turned by Lorenzo, and that's where that all stemmed. That's where that stack-up started, and Shockey getting in the middle of it and racing very aggressive to the finish. And I don't think Lorenzo was pretty happy with that, because there was contact between he and the 25 there, too.
For your lead lap cars here tonight, Gallo's going to bring it home in 11th, Mahone in 12th, Sawinski in the 13th position, and then Webb is going to be your first car 1 lap down. Tarpley, who we talked about racing very hard controversially in that last lap, he's going to be the second car 1 lap down. You see on your screen, drivers just having fun after the race. Fowler also going to finish 1 lap down.
William Britton did not finish. He is 10 laps down. Tristan Troll finished in 18th, 16 laps down. Brian Lucan, 19th, 23 laps down. James Bowmar did not complete a lap. He finishes in 20th. And Jason Beckman did not start. He has scored in 21st.
And Adam, I think we just seen what we were talking about. It looked like Rivera's was pushing the 57 of Wells back to pit lane. It looks like these drivers don't have a lot left in the tank. Oh, and right there, I think the 36 just ran out. So no burnouts from the 36 tonight. We told all of you at home that it was going to be close on fuel. And it looks like they had just enough to finish the race here tonight. So we've already gone down our finishing order. And we should be getting our top 3 put up into our waiting room for the interviews. But just to pull it up one more time, we'll show it here on JCTV. Not the grid. we will go down the order one more time. So Rivera's, Thurston, Wells, Bawarski, Brochu, Morrow, Reeves, Lorenzo, Fielder, Rajcock. That's your top 10. Gallo, Mahone, Sawinski, Webb, Tarpley, Fowler, Britton, Troll, Lucan. There was one more name in there that I did not get to see. Bomar, Beckman, and Culp. Beckman and Culp look like they did not start here tonight. But that rounds out your field. And Adam, I believe we've got some drivers in our waiting room. Do we have our third place finisher?
Yes, we do. We do have Ellis.
All right. Do you want to go ahead and talk to our third place finisher here tonight, Adam?
Sure. Hey, Ellis, it's the guys in the JCTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, that was a pretty dramatic finish there between you and a bunch of guys there racing for the win, pretty much. Can you take us from your perspective and what you saw and what you fought for, fought from in the last couple laps there with that 57 machine?
Yeah, I was surprised to even be up front there. I definitely didn't get as much practice as my teammates, and I was pretty much until today really unsure of how my car drove, not really able to be consistent. But hey, you came into this race. I don't think I spun a single time, managed to keep the whole thing clean. And I was just following behind Cody, who I had expected to win because he's just the fastest guy I know here. But I didn't expect to even be able to keep up with him. I was real excited about that. It's kind of unfortunate that I sold a position or two. That might have been able to get me a win or second place, but I'm still proud of my finish.
Yeah, you mentioned those slides. You were racing just ahead of Thurston there, there, and you had that big slide coming out of the last chicane. What was going through your mind when you saw Rivera's drive away and the 84 get to your inside?
I was thinking, I definitely knew at that point Cody was gone because he was able to just coast the rest of the race. He had a big enough gap. In Thurston, I would just have to push my hardest to get to him. I almost got him out of the last chicane. If there's one more lap, I probably would have. But I knew, like, compared to those guys, I was really good under braking. But the acceleration, they were just able to outdo me. So I knew that I just had to send it into each corner to try my hardest to catch him.
Well, speaking of coasting, how close was it on fuel? We've seen a couple guys run out here on the cool-down lap, and we heard it was going to be pretty close there to the checkered flag. What was the fuel situation like inside the 57 car?
Oh, yeah, I had about one extra lap. On the cool-down lap, I ran out of gas coming out of the backstretch bus stop, the Le Mans chicane. So, yeah, would not have been able to go an extra lap. Got everything perfect with fuel, which was nice.
All right, well, that's awesome. Congrats on third place. Who would you like to shout out and thank to get you here tonight?
Thank my teammates, Luke Mahone, Ollie Reeves, Shockey Tarpley, always helping me out, and the guys you practice with, Cody, and especially Nicholas or Fuzzy. He was the one who really showed me what I need to do, how I could improve around the track, helping me out, kind of coaching me for this race and a lot of my road stuff. So definitely thank him.
All right, well, thank you. Congrats again, Ellis, on third place run tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
That was Ellis Wells in the 57, finishing in our third place position from Daytona, Jonathan.
Well, and I would say we're going to pull our second place finisher up here, but it looks like I don't see him in any of the calls where we could drag him. So we're just going to go ahead and talk to our race winner here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and pull him up here, and we'll talk to our race winner, Cody Riveras. Hey, Cody, it's the boys in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I gotcha.
All right, brother. Well, what a show you put on here tonight. You almost threw your race out there early on in the race and was able to recover, and not only just a full recovery, like all the way back to the lead, getting past Thurston there in the late going, and able to hold off Wells there as he had a hard charge there in the late going. Go ahead and tell us how the race was for you and how it feels to get that win here tonight.
Yeah, well, first it's a huge relief to come across the line first. I knew I had the pace to do it. I just needed to avoid the catastrophic mistake, and I got lucky. And I only had I'd call it a medium level mistake. James passed me. I made a mistake into one, went a little wide. Didn't want to spin myself shifting down a gear there, so I figured I'd sit behind him for a couple laps and kind of learned what he did because I noticed there were some spots where he was a little bit quicker than me. And we got to the chicane there on lap 4, and I straight up underdrove the corner, not being aggressive, just being content to sit behind him. And I, looking back on the replay, I clipped that sausage curb by about an inch, sent me into a wheel hop and put me in the wall. Straight line speed was a little bit affected, but all in all, the car handled fine. And I knew that based on my pace at the end of the stage, that if I didn't do anything catastrophically bad, I could go ahead and get the win in that second stage. Made a little mistake on the fuel calculation. I was saving fuel for the first half of that second stage, thinking I was a lap short. And in fact, we were 1 lap to the good. So ran out of fuel right there on that burnout at the end, but that lap doesn't count for anything. So yeah, happy to get the win.
You talk about fuel strategy. The word before the race that we got was you guys were actually 2 laps short, and I believe that came from you and a couple other admins just talking about how short it was going to be. Once you found out you were a lap to the good, we seen you drop back quite a bit. Did you just start pushing to get back up to Thurston, or was it try to mitigate the mistakes and make time up at the same time?
It was once I realized, I was like, oh, I need to go push mode here. I guess for the fuel, we didn't anticipate the stage caution taking as long as it did. We thought it would we were projecting 2 laps shorter or something like that. But we had an extra couple laps there, just for guys catching up to the field, guys catching the pace car. So yeah, it was in hindsight, it was a good thing we didn't move the stage back like we initially had planned and decided against. But yeah, no, it was basically pushing the corners that I knew I was safe in and make it through solidly through the corners that I wasn't super confident in. Like I said, not the greatest performance, but it gets the job done today.
Looking forward to next week. We go to Chicagoland. What are your anticipations of that race, and what's don't have to reveal your whole strategy, but what's your plan looking like for next week?
Well, the practice session that we did there with the setup we're running next week went really well. It's super fun setup, super fun track, super fun time of day. And hopefully we'll be back to a big field now that we're going back to an intermediate, going back to an oval. But in Vegas, I made the crucial mistake of pitting at the wrong time and putting myself back in harm's way when I would have restarted on the front row. And I think we're going to try to stay out front this time, rely on pace, and play it by ear. You never know. It's an oval. Things happen. Things get crazy. And hopefully make it across the finish line on lap 117 this time.
We look forward to next week. And before we let you go here, final shout-outs, thank yous, and sponsors that you got to thank here tonight.
I want to thank the guys in the San Andreas Auto Club, SAC. It's been a racing league on various games for the better part of 6 years now. And we finally got to iRacing, finally got our league going. And so all those guys that have raced with us, that have been admins with us, that have helped us get to this point, being on iRacing. And, even last week we had a 39-car field. It's been fantastic, and we're looking forward to big things in the future.
Well, we're going to let you go celebrate that win here tonight. Awesome race, Cody, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Sounds good, man. Thank you for your time.
That is your race winner here tonight, Cody Rivera's. Adam, what a race we've seen here tonight. I could say it ranks up there for me on road course races that I've watched and broadcasted. It was a good race all around.
Yeah, that was pretty entertaining. We talked top of the show. We didn't know if it was going to get spread out or super clumped up together. And to be honest, Austin, that was pretty competitive. We didn't see it get spread out as we thought it would be. Stage 1, Thurston definitely did get pretty big of a lead. But right after that stage caution and like Cody just talked about with that fuel situation, that fuel strategy, the fuel mileage race to the end, it was pretty interesting, pretty thrilling, and it was close between those top 3, those podium finishers tonight.
Well, we look forward to next week. We go to Chicagoland with this series. I assume that we'll be back. It sounds like the drivers like having us. I think me and Adam can agree that it was a good show, even for a track that we probably wouldn't have thought about opening up a broadcast on for a series. So anticipate us coming back next week with this series. But as far as the rest of this week goes on JCTV, tomorrow night, the NAOR series brings back their race. Actually, no, I stand corrected. I believe the NAOR series is on an off week.
Right.
So the NAOR series is off this week, but Saturday we get the second race in the Pit News Truck Series, where myself, Adam, and Dawson Allen, and I believe Jonathan Parker will be there, but I don't know what his part-time schedule with racing that series looks like. So
He'll be in the booth.
all right, Jonathan Parker will be in the booth. So all four of us will be in the booth for the In the Pit News Truck Series Saturday night. So look forward to that. And Tuesday, we go to the Slide Job Racing Series, kicking off their playoffs. Sadly, I am not in the playoffs, but I will still be there trying to earn my spot for next week's Dash for Cash and the Best of the Rest champion for this season. So look forward to that this week on JCTV. And as far as that goes, I believe that wraps us up here from Daytona International Speedway Road Course Racing here tonight. I am Jonathan Canfield signing you off here tonight from Adam Kuhn and Josh Coppernell, who is the owner of JCTV. So long, have a good night, and we will see you Saturday for the In the Pit News Truck Series. Stay safe out there.